Chris, you're on mute. Good start.
It doesn't matter how many times I do this. Could be 10 years. I will still forget to unmute myself. It's crazy. Folks, I'm actually really excited for this call. And we're going to be introducing our special guest here this evening. But first of all, I wanted to acknowledge and congratulate all the attendees that attended the Women's Show this weekend. I know Bill and Linda was there. I know that Janet was there. I know that PJ and Erica was there, and Chris, and I'm missing someone, right? Denise was there. Yeah. Congratulations, guys. You look absolutely fantastic. The booth was absolutely beautiful. And I know you've done a great, great job in getting your leads, and I look forward to work with you on all of that. Now, this evening, the call is actually a special call. One of the things that often entrepreneurs, network marketers do is, we make money, and I know we have Alice here, who's a professional, who's actually a self-made millionaire. She's done very well for herself. I know she's helped a lot of folks with for their finances. And as a matter of fact, we're introducing Craig Dunkley today. And, before we introduce Craig, Tammy and I just wanted to share with you, I wish I would have met Craig years and years and years ago, before I we blew a lot of money just doing some bogus investments. I so wish I had this kind of information. And, and Tammy, do you want to share a few words that I know that you and I were talking today about Craig before I introduce Craig and then give him a bit of his credential. What are your thoughts since we've been doing business with BG Accounting and Craig's firm?
Well, it's interesting how we got to know each other, Chris. Everybody knows that Chris and I are part of the Eric Worre Mastermind. And the last live event, maybe it was two before, Chris and I were at his event, and he did a breakout group on one of the lunches. And he wanted us to mingle with the top producers of the mastermind. And there was probably I think there was 5 of us, Chris. And in that group, there happened to be a Canadian. And maybe I'll let you tell a story, Chris, because had we have not done that breakout group, we would never have known Craig. It's so powerful how it works through the networking process. So go ahead, Chris, tell them the story, because it's changed everything for us. Yeah,
absolutely. One of the things that happens, we were part of the mastermind with Eric, and one of the things that he does is, he wants us to kind of break up, into different little groups and kind of share our experiences, what we do. And one of the things that I was asking to one of the millionaire networker there is knowing that he's Canadian, lives in Ontario, in fact, not too far from where we live here, is this, who do you use for your accounting? And in fact, he was mentioning a friend of his, which his name was Ashim. So we got to know Greg through one of his colleagues. And we got a meeting with Ashim, and we started talking about all of the benefits of the network marketing and how he can actually help us kind of organize and structure our taxes. And he was just amazed on how much taxes we were paying. And there's so many things that we could do. And from that point on, I decided to hire him to become our accountant. And all and behold, I don't even have to put my papers together anymore, because everything is, I take pictures every time I have a receipt. It is actually emailed right into the accounting firm, and they take care of everything. They extract the HST, or for some of you, the GST, if you happen to be Canadian, and it's all done. And then after that, they give you the reports and everything else. And then from there, I came and I was introduced to Craig and his beautiful partner, Claudia. And they invited us to one of their parties, and Tammy and I were just stunned on the lifestyle that he created for himself. And at the same time, he also introduced some incredible business investments opportunity to prepare for our retirement and the future, so we can really build a legacy for herself as we keep evolving financially. So
yeah, through passive investments, absolutely.
Exactly. And I says, you know what, this is something that the team should really be made aware of this, because as you start making money with your business, folks, What's really interesting is to know what to do with that money and to have that money working for you. So let me share a little bit about Craig. Craig Dunkley is a multi-business owner, investor, speaker, best-selling author. By the age of 25, he realized that his vision of owning rental properties. Today, he has shared his knowledge with thousands of people. And that's something we can certainly relate, right? And helping many become millionaires and find a path to financial freedom. And as a CEO and founder partner of BG Wealth Group, Craig believed that everyone should have the financial freedom to spend every day of their lives doing what they want to do, not what they have to do, but what they want to do, right? With deep conviction, Craig has made his mission to help people from all walks of life becoming millionaires. This is very important to us. And the best part, the cherry on the cake, is Craig understands network marketing, not just as an accountant, but actually has participated in events with Eric Worre. So he understands the nature of what we do. So Craig, I'm just going to turn this over to you. It's a real honor to have you here. And thank you so much for dedicating some time this evening to share your knowledge with the team.
So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Tammy. I love being here tonight. Thank you very much. And, you know, I will give you whatever I can tonight that helps the individuals that are on tonight for, you know, taxes, for investing, whatever moves them forward financially. And, you know, something that, you know, I have to step back for a moment right now is I just found out this past weekend that we actually met through Eric Worre. And, you know, that blew me away. The connections that we make in our life and where they take us are phenomenal. You know, I've spent time with Tony Robbins, and I love my time with Eric Worre. And to hear from you guys this past weekend that we actually connected through Eric and Hashem and people, you sat down at a table. Tammy, you just said 5 people at the table, 6 people at the table, and it made this connection. And I love you guys. I love the fact that what you're doing in your team is phenomenal, and who you're working with. And I know I see a couple of people here tonight that I know. Bill, Linda, very nice to see you tonight. And yeah, hey, Bill. So great to see you. But, you know, what I really want to talk about tonight is how we build wealth. And I love network marketing. I love what you guys are doing with Max. I love the product. I love the business structure. I love the tenacity that you two have in working your team and helping them build their businesses. I believe I've been in the financial space all my life. As you mentioned, Chris, I bought my first home in my 20s. And I rented out my basement, and I recognized that somebody was living in my house that, you know, I had to deal with, but they were paying my mortgage for me. And within a couple of years, I bought a couple of more duplexes, and all of a sudden I was building a real estate empire. But one of the things that I saw as I came out of my corporate life, I was with the Hudson's Bay Company in my early days. I left them in 2001 to go out in business on myself and start our accounting firm. And one of the things that I recognized that people were paying too much tax, right? And, you know, we came into this event tonight to talk about tax benefits, and the tax benefits of being in business for yourself are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I believe that everybody in North America should have a business, whether it's their prime thing that they do, like you and Tammy, or they have a job and they do it on the side. Bring down your tax rate, because the taxes in North America, especially Canada, are extreme. So I always like to go to the example of, I want to buy a pencil, a pen. And if that pen is going to cost me $10, if I am an employee, I have to earn $13 to buy a $10 pen, because I know the government is going to take $3 of my income before I can buy that pen. But as a business owner, it actually works the other way, that I can go buy that pen with $10 that came into my income. And before I pay taxes, I buy that 10 and pay taxes afterwards. Well, what many people don't understand, if you flip it the other way around, if I'm an employee, I actually have to earn $14 before I can buy that $10 pen, because I am paying taxes before I buy that pen. 43%, an average individual who pays 30% taxes is actually paying 43% before they can purchase the items they want to buy. And being in business for yourself, even if it's on the side, it's a small time gig, it's a big time gig, is huge on reducing the cost you're going to pay for taxes and what you put in your own pocket going forward. If you are in business for yourself, I encourage you to write off everything you spend against your income. And how can I say that? It is as simple as saying, I bought this cup. I bought this cup because I go to events where I either share this cup with other people, or I use this cup because this is the cup that I need in my events to make me who I am. And I write it off against my taxes. Thinking about everything you spend, and before you spend it, how it relates to your business. And Chris, can I go off a little bit here?
By all means, the floor is yours. I completely trust it. That's why I want you here, that your wealth of knowledge, I want to share that with the team. So please, it's all yours.
So I can go off on one of three different stories right now. You tell me which one to go off on. How to write off my car, 100% of the mileage I put on it. How to write off my dog on the purchase of her, our family pet, or how to write off the fish I have in my fish tank in my office. Tell me which one you want me to go with, Chris.
Let's start with the car.
The car. Okay, perfect. So my parents live 2 hours away from me, and I will not get in my car if it is not business related. I will not go anywhere in my car if it's not business related. And I get a call from my mom on a Thursday afternoon. This is about 4 years ago now. Call from my mom, and she says, Craig, we haven't seen you in a while. We want to see you. We want to see the kids. We want to see the family. Come out and have dinner on Sunday. And I say to my mom, Mom, I cannot come to dinner on Sunday. You live 2 hours away from me. And to drive my vehicle from here to there for 2 hours for non-business related situations, I cannot write that off, and it's going to cost me money. I'm sorry, Mom, I cannot come to dinner. My mom says, son, you're an ass, but sorry, guys. And I say, Mom, can I talk to Dad for a minute? And she says, absolutely. So I said, Dad, I'm going to just look up here for a second here. Yep, here's the book. I said, Dad, I'm writing a chapter in a book right now. And I'm writing about how 6 individuals reached out to me and talked to me about their investments. And 3 of them are doing very well. 3 of them are not succeeding because they did not take action. And I need to finalize this chapter for the book, be out next week. Who is the best critique of your stuff? To me, it's family. And I said, Dad, if I come out on Sunday, will you read through what I put together in this book and give me your honest opinion on what I wrote, and maybe I should modify it. He said, absolutely, son. Come on out. Bring the family. Let's make a day of it. I said, Frick, Dad, we're coming out Sunday. What's Mom making for dinner? Completely took the conversation from being come out and just spend time with us to making it business related. Did it upset my mom a little bit? Maybe. Did it create a business write-off? Absolutely. How many of you are concerned in your business that you're claiming expenses that CRA might challenge you on? Right? And you have to face that. Well, I'm telling you, if you put in your mindset before you spend something, you've already decided how it's a business write-off. You have that conversation with the CRA agent, and I hope you don't, because your accountant should be doing that. Hashem should be doing that for you, Chris, if he's not. If you have that in your mindset before you even go into that conversation, CRA has no business with you. And, the fish tank is a prime example. When I had the CRA agent who said, Craig, you spent $600 on tropical fish. How is that business related? And in the conversation, I said, well, I have a 180-gallon saltwater fish tank in my office. And when a new client comes into my office, they sit down. The first thing they say is, holy smokes, look at that fish tank. You've got Nemo in there. You've got Dory in there. It's so beautiful. It breaks the ice. And when a CRA agent says, come on, Craig, fish? It broke the ice. It opened up the conversation. We started business. The conversation's over. You have to have in your mindset how you spent the money, why you spent the money, and in your mind, it was related to your business, and CRA will accept it every single time.
Brilliant. Wow. Absolutely love it. Craig, one of the things that, let me just come back up on this floor here. One of the things that I really, really appreciate is you have some amazing projects that are also tax deductible and also that can create a passive income. And there's nothing I find more motivating where you make money and instead of just take the money and pay your rent and buy groceries and buy gifts and buy a watch and buy a car and everything else and so forth. It's very encouraging to know that you can just keep building assets. And as you build these assets, in some cases, it will give you some passive positive cash flow income. In the same time, there's also the opportunity to build this asset to be worth a whole lot more. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. I really love the network marketing industry. I love it from a standpoint as to building relationships. I introduced my eldest son to network marketing when he was 17 years old. I did my first trip to Las Vegas with my 17-year-old son and, met some incredible people. And I love the industry. My challenge with the industry, it's built on earned money, great, gotta love money, write off on the taxes, which I encourage, but it's also driven on showing your success. And showing your success basically means I earned a bunch of money, I went and spent it. I bought a watch, I bought a car, I bought a yacht. Fantastic, I show my wealth. But too many individuals in network marketing do not put something aside and build their passive income outside of the network marketing industry. And in every industry, whether it be an employee or anything else, you have to look at how you can build your wealth on the side. And we've gone through a world that has basically followed the banks over the last 20, 30 years. And people are recognizing that they are not building wealth with the banks. The banks The fees, the MER fees, management expense ratio fees, are really taking the lion's share of the money from people's investments. And one of the things that I started back in 2001, 2004, I started to listen to Warren Buffett. And I'm a huge follower of Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett put out a challenge in 2007 that basically said, I will put $100,000 into a low fee index fund, not a mutual fund, a low fee index fund. And I will challenge any mutual fund manager out there to beat me over the next 10 years. Well, that challenge ran to 2017, and Warren blew the doors off the mutual fund managers on his returns. And that really took to heart for me, because I had started training those models of low fee fund investing in 2004, 3 years before Warren put out the challenge. And I've been working with individuals on moving your investments from the major firms to managing them yourself in low fee index funds, and then taking people to real estate and recognizing that there is more wealth built in real estate than any other industry in the world. And I'm talking passive investments, owning parts of real estate, earning growth from appreciation of buildings, appreciation of properties, which is the best way to make money, because from a tax standpoint, capital gains are the best way to make money, but also generating dividends, monthly cash flow out of properties. And as a follower of Warren Buffett from many, many years ago, one of the things I recognize that if we are going to buy real estate, we are going to buy in a value investing state, which basically means we're going to go find properties that are depressed. They are depressed, and we can get them at a very good value, but they are in areas that we know something is going on that is going to move them up in value. And when we do that, we can identify properties that we can get at deep discount prices, but can double and triple their value in 3 to 5 years. And when you do that, you are on the road to building real wealth.
That's really exciting, Greg. If, let's say, some folks might be interested to get some information on that note, let me come back here. And again, I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm not sure if maybe you have some of your colleagues that can handle all of this. I know you've given me your bio, and I'm not sure if I can pass this along to the team. But if let's say people would like to connect with you, one is you have an incredible product when it comes to the accounting firm that you provide. I just absolutely love. It's completely digital. I mean, I just love the way it is. Every time my wife and I go out, we take a picture of our receipt, and it goes to the accountant, and everything is taken care of from there. It's just beautiful. Everything is automatic. So that's one aspect that you provide. And the other aspect is there's different investments of different of different levels that people can invest into. And I don't know if you want to touch on that, or maybe also provide how would I provide, or what would you allow me to provide to the team, keeping that this call is recorded. There are some folks that are going to be listening to this maybe a week from now, in some cases maybe 6 months from now. So I'll turn this over to you, but feel free to share what you think would be helpful, because I really want this team to, Tammy and I love this team with a passion. They're wonderful, wonderful people. And I want them to be able to at least have an option to make a choice, like Tammy and I have, to choose, well, I like this project, I like this product, we'd like to be part of this. So in that line, so I'll turn this over to you.
Thanks, Chris. You're quite welcome to share anything of our material. absolutely, whether it's our one pagers or our agreements that we've shared with you. I love your team as well. You know, I've had a great opportunity to speak with a number of them and bring a number of them into our investments. So anybody else who wants to have a conversation with us is great. But, you know, where I am, in the products we offer two products from an investment standpoint. My favorite is our BG Growth Fund. And that is basically, we buy properties currently set to grow to a $50 million fund, and then from there up to $250 million. And it's just, like I said, as a value investor, we go in and find areas that properties are undervalued, but gonna go up in value because something's going on in the area. And this is our premier product that people build the most wealth with us. And, you know, our initial 5 properties were in Owen Sound. And one of my favorites is our 9th Street property. Our 9th Street property we bought for $1 million 3 years ago. And we put about $120,000 into it. And when we purchased the property, rents upstairs for a 1-bedroom, there's 9 apartments up top. It's downtown Owen Sound, 9 residential units up top. They were renting out for an average $700 to $750 a month. We're now getting $1,500 a month for those units. On the lower level, we were renting out property space to the commercial units at $7 to $10 per square foot. And now we're getting 14 plus 4, $14 per square foot rent and $4 taxes, maintenance, and interest. That building bought 3 years ago for $1 million now has a valuation of $2.1 million. I see that building over the next year going up to $2.8 million on a few other rent turnovers that we're doing, and as well as the improvements going into the city, bringing the cap rates down and the building value up. And we strongly believe that we go into communities where we can get these deals, we can build the building value up to a maximum level, and then it's rinse and repeat. Sell the building, go do it somewhere else. And right now we're acquiring in Windsor, Ontario. And we also have feelers out in Austin, Texas, based on the Silicon Valley movement into Austin, Texas. So we have some great opportunities in both of those areas right now. And to me, it's, you know, like I said, Chris, find areas that there is value to be had. We can buy undervalued properties, but something is going on in the area that's going to go up in value. And that's the strategy I have learned from Warren Buffett all my life. It's value investing. And if you do it right, you can make a lot of money, especially in real estate.
That is absolutely wonderful. And, you know, as we come to the end of our session here, didn't want to keep this call too long here, folks. I just wanted you to be introduced to Greg and you know, and his firm and some of the projects that he has. I just posted in his bio that I received from him, so you have his coordinates there. And I know that Craig is a very, very busy guy, so I know he has a lot of staff working with him. So my point here is I wanted you guys to have an in for you to choose. It's not something that you have to do. It's something that you may choose to do. And I highly recommend it. I really wish I would have came across Craig years ago. It would have saved us an enormous amount of disappointments and money that went into places that are actually kind of stuck, if you know what I mean. But just in a small period, we're seeing some amazing growth already and some really positive cash flow coming in, and it's very, very exciting, very exciting. Craig, is there anything that you would like to share as we end the session?
Yes, always. I shouldn't say no. You know, I love the time we spend together, Chris, Tammy. I love the organization that you're building and how you are coaching and developing people and helping them move in their businesses. You have a phenomenal organization. And, you know, it really comes down to, you know, being in business, minimizing your taxes and keeping money in your own pocket, and then identifying what you can do with that money for it to grow exponentially for you. And I think you guys have, many of you, I think you guys have read the Robert Kiyosaki books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? That talks about going from the employee to the solopreneur to the business owner to the investor. And that's what I really believe in, taking people from that employee space to that investor space, and the difference it can make in your life. It's exponentially, but just working through that quadrant at whatever level you are at and getting to that fourth quadrant where life is just supplying you with what you need, and, you know, helping others along the way. Because, you know, we all know right now the world has gone through some massive change, especially economically and financially, and we need to be there for each other, and we need to focus on what we need to do to build our personal wealth, but also to help others who are very much challenged right now.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. And Tammy, is there any last thought that you want to share?
Bill has a question about your book. Craig, is it finished? Do you have your book available that people can write it down and check it out?
Feel free to post your link if you want, if people can access it. I don't know if you have it on Amazon or you can buy it. Feel free to put it on the chat, or just pass it over to me later on, and I'll make sure the team has it.
So I don't have a link available to me right now, but I've written in 2 books with the Empowering Women to Succeed series. So if you Google Empowering Women to Succeed, I was in book 1 and book 4. And then back here, Top 50 Fearless Leaders, both Claudia and I wrote in. Claudia actually wrote in Empowering Women to Succeed as well. So if you Google Empowering Women to Succeed, Top Fearless Leaders, and Claudia or myself, you will find the books. They are on Amazon. And
okay.
Got it.
Cool. Tammy, maybe what was the third one that Claudia?
So
so Top Fearless Leaders, Chris.
Yeah, I have Top Fearless Leaders.
Top 50 Fearless Leaders. And Claudia also wrote in American Leading Ladies, which was a great book as well.
Does anybody have any questions on taxes when it comes to your business while we have them? Just throw it out there in the chat. Chris, you can.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. Give one moment.
Often people will ask me how many years, I guess it's in Canada because majority is in Canada, unless you know the answer in the US too. How many years can somebody be in business and write off expenses without profit, without any profits? People have asked me that.
Yeah, so typically, 5 years is about the level before CRA will start to challenge you. It used to be 5 to 7 years, but more recently 5 years. And that is kind of the expectation as to how long it takes to build a business to profitability, and CRA will accept that. The biggest thing you need to be aware of is that any expense you spend, you can justify that it was for the business and that the business is actively trying to make money. So as long as you can show activity that you are trying to make money, you're trying to build the business, any expense is reasonable and losses are reasonable as long as you have that intention to make money and you can prove it.
Nice. It was interesting when you were sharing about, going to your mom's for dinner. When I travel to my mom's, I always make it where I'm doing business along the way.
Yeah.
In London, when I visit my mom, and on the way back. And so I can cover every angle of writing off everything that I can. So, I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, but not a lot of people know, right? So I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Yeah, you're right, Tammy. And one of the wonderful things about network marketing is you can do business anywhere. So you are going out to visit your mom. There's absolutely no reason why you can't visit a few prospects out there or a few business leaders out there and basically say, this is the purpose of my travel. Hey, mom, let's have dinner. Hey, mom, let's have lunch. And the same thing going out of the country, heading down south. You go into a community where if you're really driven by your business, you go into, Tampa Bay, Florida for a week, and you set up a couple of meetings, you set up a couple of lunches, and you make the trip about business, and you can very easily move your costs from being personal to being business related.
I totally agree with that, 100%. Mm-hmm. And by the way, folks, before I know Linda has a question, Craig and Claudia are using the Max products. I know Claudia has been using the MetaSwitch. And by the way, I saw the difference. She's looking fantastic.
Great.
And I know you've been using the Enfuse, the ATP. I know you have the Max GXL. So just so you know, folks, that Craig is actually a user of our products, and he's actually also an associate with Max International. Just started mentioning that. So he is part of the culture of Max International. Linda has a question here. Does COVID extend that 5-year timeline, Greg?
It's a good argument. Absolutely. It really comes down to, I'm working my business. I spent money on my business. I maybe did not have success through COVID, or it challenged me, and it's extended my costs and growth process. So, it really comes down to, Linda, if you are making an effort to grow the business and you can justify that you're putting the time in, you're putting the money in, and you're trying to make money, then CRA has no reason not to accept your claims. I would go up against CRA in any situation that I basically believe in my business and putting money into it. I'm connecting with people, I'm spending money to try and make it work. Whether it's working or not, whether I'm profitable, not profitable, if I'm making the effort, I would challenge CRA in every situation if they challenged me. And, there are people, they just have a job to do. And their job is to not disprove your claims. Their job is to review your claims. And if you can justify them, they have to accept them. So that's what it really comes down to.
Okay, cool. Sylvie Cossette has asked from Quebec City, is there a book that you recommend to read for tax benefit with business?
Yeah, my Payless Tax book. So I don't know if you have the link to that, Chris, but I can get it to you if you don't.
Yeah, please do so. And what I'll do is once I upload the call on our YouTube channel, I'll put those links there and I'll make it available.
I know, Chris, when we did our first session with Hashim, just to work on our goals and, kind of laying that all out, the projected retirement phase, even though we love what we do and we don't see ourselves retiring, but it's to know that you have that, whatever it is, income that you want to retire with, passive income already there. And then your max business is your fun money, right? Just everyday fun money, traveling, doing whatever you want. So it's to build that up and build generational wealth. But he did send us, Chris, a couple of links to learn about the tax system.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is it something that we could share with the group, Craig?
Yeah, absolutely. Hashim puts out some great blogs and articles with respect to minimizing your taxes. Hashim is a phenomenal accountant who believes in having a business is the best way to protect yourself from the high taxes and reduce your tax rate. And what are the opportunities as business owners that you can use to reduce that tax rate? So anything you have that you want to share from Hashim is wonderful for business owners.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Yeah, and he was telling us that every single employee has a business.
Yep. We are believers that, we love our employees, but they have to really look after themselves and reduce their tax rates, because unfortunately we have to take the taxes off them as employees. But if they can recover any of that, then good for them. And it keeps it in your own pocket, but then really looking at what you're doing with it from there, right? I can do a tax return for an individual and get them a $10,000, $12,000 tax refund, and they'll go out and buy themselves a nice TV. Well, that's wonderful that you get yourself a nice TV. Or how is this money that I call free money? Because when we get tax refunds, especially if we've generated them from business ownership, I call that free money. And that free money, how can we put that money to serve us? Because again, we want to move ourselves through those quadrants, right? Employee, solopreneur, business owner, investor. And the more we can move ourselves to the investor stage, is the more our money is working for us. We work hard for our money. And at what point do we make our money work hard for us? Because that is how we ultimately retire and decide, Tammy, how much do I want to work? How much do I want to work because I love what I do and I will work all my life? I know it, but how much I want to work and I want to give back, but how much I can sit back and say, my life is looked after.
That sounds beautiful.
That's
very
what
comforting
we're working for. Everybody. Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody's thinking the same. So, Craig, listen, we took a lot of your time, and thank you so much for sharing all this wonderful information, folks. What's important here is to take action, right? Don't just sit on this knowledge. You have an in. So the information here is on the attachment I share with you. So you have Craig's bio there and his contact information. Don't be shy. If it's not Craig directly, it's possible that you might be dealing with some of his colleagues. The point here is that you have an in to be able to start planning your retirement and your future. So again, folks, don't sit on that. This is important. It's okay. It's wonderful to have a business and make some money, but it's also nice where you can start at one point and says, okay, now actually I can retire on the fruit of my labor, regardless of what's going on in this economy. And this is the reason why I was very adamant on actually putting this call here tonight and having Craig with us. You're welcome, Linda. And I know that many of you probably feel the same way here. Thank you for attending. And I guess we can end on this note. And again, folks, take action. Don't sit on this information. Craig is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person. And Claudia is I always want to call it your wife, but I know you guys are a partner in life. She's actually wonderful.
They're a power team. Yeah, they're awesome.
And they're so incredible hosts. I mean, thank you so much. Every time you invite us, it makes us feel really special. So everybody have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening. And Craig, again, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. And I look forward to all the conversations that will go from here.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have an awesome week, everybody.
Have a great night.
Take care.
We'll talk
to you.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Good night.